All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron and Chippy here. There you go, buddy. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Bringing you some honest astrology about our Capricorn new moon on January 18th, 2026. Our first new moon of the year in Capricorn. We've got the Sun conjunct the moon at 28 degrees. We've got Mars conjunct Mercury at 26 degrees. Mercury is our minds and how we're thinking. Mars is our actions and what we're doing to take action. Capricorn is the top of the mountain and the peaks of the valleys of the oceans. The great contrast to Earth. And it deals with government. You are the government. I am the government. Not just some board of people. We collectively are the government. Chippy's the government. He's not the government. He does not contribute to society except for his cuteness. We have Venus conjunct Pluto, all right, in the early degrees of Aquarius. But we have a trine and two sextiles and a septile that are happening that are very unique that we should talk about. And I'm going to go to the chart here. You're going to have to get rid of the cuteness. And we're going to go to the chart. Okay, so 28 degrees. Sun and Moon. 27, 29 degrees, Saturn and Neptune. 27 degrees, Uranus. Now, two of the three earth signs and a water sign. Now, what are the earth signs all about? Capricorn, government. Capricorn, big business. Capricorn, Wall Street. Capricorn is getting things done, making things happen, putting one foot in front of another. Big moves. It's not a time to be lethargic. At the same time, most people I've been talking to are quite lethargic during this time. It's partly because of this connection happening here. There's a lot of Neptunian energy. Okay. We'll come back to that in a second. So Taurus is going to be our solid ground, stable where you build a house. It's hard to build a house on the side of a mountain. It's hard to build a house underneath the ocean on the cliffs. So this is our solid ground where we build houses. And however, Uranus has been here in this area of solid ground for 8, 9 years. And Uranus rules Aquarius, which deals with technology, information, and society. And what is happening with technology and information through our society with what we consider solid? Well, we have AI. And today, for the very first time in my life, AI actually fooled me. And I had to fact check it. I had to look up if this video was real or not. It was from a known older president that said something, and I was like, is this real? And I couldn't tell. I mean, it was like footage from the 80s, so it was, like that helped mask it. But nonetheless, when we're dealing in the world of information, and it's hard to tell what information is real or not real, it becomes very problematic, right? So Taurus is like solid ground. Uranus is shaking up that solid ground. Over with the South Node is in Virgo, and Virgo is the plants and the trees and the shrubs, and these elements of Earth give their life so you and I can survive. Those elements give their lives so Chippy can survive. So all the animals survive, right? So those are three earth signs. And Capricorn is the cardinal, which means it's the strongest, and it's ruled by Saturn, which is like the big pop of the zodiac. It's the father figure that's coming by and saying, "Good job, son. Good job, daughter." Or, "I'm disappointed in you. I thought you could have done better." It's that kind of energy. And for the past couple of years, Saturn has been traveling through Neptune, which is an interesting place as Neptune's been occupied with its ruling planet. Saturn is in Pisces with its ruling planet of Neptune for the past 16 years, as well the North Node, saying head in this direction, less be more in the place of belief and less in the place of logic, linguistics, and right and wrong and things like that. And honestly, friends, this has been very challenging. This energy, these energies have been extremely challenging because you can believe anything you want. You can absolutely believe anything you want. You can believe that you're the king or the queen. You can believe that you're the best. You can believe that you're the fastest, the strongest, the most amazing person in the world. And there's very few things, unless you're going to the Olympics, that you can actually put that test to, the proof to the pudding. But people can believe anything they want. They can think anything that they want. And that's partly why Mercury's here with Mars and connecting with the sun. And it's like, guys, we got to clean up our minds here. We can't believe whatever we want. In the world of mathematics, in the world of science, there's kind of like, there's facts, you know, and people can argue certain things. And I get into this a lot, or not a lot, but I think it's fascinating. I'm not a person that likes conflict, but I'm also not one to shy away from it, especially if it's like different observations or perspectives on life. It doesn't mean you should argue with somebody, but having an opportunity to talk things out, to claim different views and try to, you know, find a happy medium. I had one of these conversations with a friend of mine about astrology and how they're like, Vedic is the only, it's the only. And I remembered my teacher, Rick Levine, and I went with him in 2018. I did a course with him, and he said there's 26 different house sign, ways to calculate. And he said if there was only one that worked, only one would be accurate. But there's actually 26. So that means that people had to fight. People had to communicate with one another and argue their point. They didn't have to fight, but argue their point of why it's valid. Now, in mathematics, a 90-degree angle is a 90-degree angle. It's only a 90-degree angle. So, right, you see here, there's facts and there's science and there's mathematics, and then there's like possibilities. Like, wow, in the world of possibilities, a 45-degree angle could be, or a 90-degree could be. No, it's only this. It's only this. It's right or wrong. And we can believe anything we want. We can believe anything we want. You can believe any religion you want. If none of them agree. So they can't all be right. If they were all right, they would all agree with each other. No? It's kind of confusing that way, right? So when we have this Pisces energy, Pisces, any of the water signs kind of deal with evasion. And right now, as we have all of this Capricorn energy connected here with this watery energy, we can be a bit lethargic and a bit evasive. We don't want to do the things. Why do we not want to do the things? Well, if we have the conversation with the person that's, they can call us out. They can call us out, and we're not protecting our peace here by being evasive. We're protecting our ego. We're not protecting ourselves. We're really protecting, our opportunity to be called out on something that we don't want to be called on, the light being shined upon us. And most people don't like that, which I understand. So we've, over the past several years, nobody. He's trying to climb up, talking the mic. It's my mic, Chippy. So over the past 16 years, we have this rise of spirituality, and we're using words to manipulate our situation and say, oh, anybody that's conflict or anything that's not for my, I'm protecting my peace and I'm going to run away. I'm going to hide from that. I'm not going to deal with that person. And let me tell you, it's a very lonely life. It's a very, very lonely life when you just run away from everybody that you disagree with, when you run away from, it's like, in my experience, the people that are willing to be confrontational or argue, most of the time, those are the people that care. Like, I don't find people that just like to argue for the sake of arguing. Some people do, but not usually. I mean, I'm talking about like conflict resolution, not just like arguing, like, conflict resolution. So when people are coming with conflict resolution and we're evasive toward that, or we don't want to deal with somebody or something because they have a different perspective than we do, or they believe in a different political party than we do that is going to be the best for the nation or whatnot, and I just can't with you, and we just run away. It's like we're being called out here, friends. We're being called out to stand up. And it's like, well, you see, you're going to make all these decisions in your life and you're just going to run away when somebody asks you why, or why you stand for the thing that you stand for. And if I stand for something different, then we're not friends anymore. It's strange. It's strange behavior. It's very immature. And what Saturn Capricorn energy is telling us to do is be amicable, is to be, what's the word? I can't think of it at the top of my head. It's right here. Do you see it? It'll come to me in a second. That's all right. Accountability. Accountable. We're asked to be accountable for our words and our actions. And that's what this Capricorn energy is all about right now. And we can believe anything. And if somebody is holding you accountable for your words and actions and you just want to run away and evade because they're the problem, and every time you point the finger at them, you got 3 pointing back at yourself, this is your reflection. This is your mirror right now. This is our mirror right now. Not just yours, our mirror right now of saying, what is going on? Maybe I do need to hear it. Maybe I do need to be called out. I think everybody needs to be called out from time to time, myself included. I think it's very healthy for people to have those conversations. And the astrology is certainly right now committing to that. Another aspect I want to talk about is the news and the media. That's where I work. This is news and media. And the media, 16 years, Neptune through here. Now it takes 30 years for Saturn to come around, which means this is the first time that they've been here in the same space together. Okay, it takes 172 years for Neptune to go around and 30 years for Saturn. So they're not conjunct here in Neptune. They're going to conjunct here in Aries, but they're doing work together nonetheless. And it's saying, don't believe everything. Don't believe everything. You can wish in one hand and shit in the other. And what comes out first? It's going to be the reality, that cold, hard Capricorn reality check, not this warm, evasive, Neptunian, Piscean, floating into the ethers, wrapped in my cocoon of spiritual bliss. That's not all reality. That's only a portion of reality. And we're being asked to step up. We're being asked to show up. And it's like the world around us is constantly changing. The world around us is constantly changing. And are we a part of the change or are we a part of the problem? Part of the change would be taking action about something. Part of the problem would be just complaining about it. And this is one of the things that's kind of come through as I've been sitting here mulling on or meditating, about this video and thinking like, what's the best stuff to kind of talk about right now? And some of the things that I see online, I see people doing a lot of complaining. A lot of, and rightful so, complaining. They're not happy with how certain things are coming about. So these are the two things that popped up in my mind. One, we talked about this AI video stuff. And it's like, if we don't have anybody policing this, and there's not an organization that's stepping up to say, hey, we cannot have, it's like, there already is, what is it? Why can't I think of the... It's not FDA. Who does the TV stuff? Well, either way, it's not being regulated. The AI stuff's not being regulated as it should be. Okay, so there's an opportunity there for an organization. Same with this ICE stuff, friends. I know a lot of people are really upset with this, understandably so. And it's like we as a society have to make sure that those people who are doing those things are also held to the law and accountability just the same. And if we use our energy. Now, there's enough people in every state that are frustrated, unpleased with, we'll say those are probably the nicest words, unpleased with the state of how people are being treated. Hey, kitty cat. How people are being treated here. So instead of just going to the internet and complaining, if we actually got together and organized something, if we actually set our time and our energy, right? Cause and effect. Lethargy equals more lethargy. You didn't get any stronger. You didn't read a book. You didn't do anything. You laid around all day. And sometimes that's the medicine. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it's the medicine. But when it comes to like creating something, we have to take action. We have to take action. We have to take action. And we have to create something for the cause and effect. I go to the gym, I exercise, I stay strong, my body hurts less. I'm hungry, I take action, I make food, I feed myself, right? These are cause and effect. And this Capricorn energy is saying take action, but do it in a way that's not just spinning your wheels or just, here you go, buddy. Yeah, that's productive. Something that's productive. That's what this Capricorn energy loves, and especially with Mars and Capricorn, wants us to be productive. So how can we use this energy to be productive and create the things that we want to create? and create the organizations that need to be created. This is big business stuff too, right? If this needs to happen, then it needs to happen. And my theory as well is sometimes the heroes don't know who they are until the villains show their ugly faces. And then somebody says, hey, you know what? I've got that fire inside me. I've got that passion inside me. I'm going to step up and do something about it. Well, maybe that's you, friend. And maybe this is your call. Maybe this is the new moon you've been waiting for. Maybe this is the energy you've been waiting for to get off your duff and do something about it, right? Okay, so it's take action. It's being little less with the media, a little less with the news. Again, somebody that's worked in the media for 19 years, they do not care about you. They do not care about you one bit. What they care about is your ratings. What they care about you is tuning in. And how can we get you to tune in? If we live in the most peaceful town out of all the towns in the world, and little Timmy won on the spelling bee here, and here's another article that said Timmy was mauled by a bear in the woods. You're probably going to grab the article that says Timmy was mauled by a bear in the woods. Why? Because our human brains, unless somebody has a different brain, our brains want to stay safe. We want to stay safe. That Taurus energy, safe. Okay, not everyone's a cliff diver. All right, now, if we want to stay safe, and how do you stay safe is by being aware of where the danger is. Okay, the woods, there's a bear, don't go in the woods. Who cares about Timmy's A on the spelling bee? I want to make sure me and my family don't die when we go pick apples. So there's an understanding of why we seek the negative. On the other hand, though, we have to be willing to say, I understand this programming. I understand this programming of myself. I understand that the media wants views. I understand that these shows, these networks, these outlets want my attention, and my attention is revenue for them. Now, and they could be filling my head with whatever. Imagination, right? It doesn't mean it's real. It doesn't mean it's real. I see people in love. I see people holding the doors for people. I see people being kind for one another. I see people doing good deeds all the time. And I know it's not just me. I see good things every time I leave my house. Every day. And if you look for them, you will see them too. And if you're just focused on ICE, if you're just focused on what Trump is doing, if you're just focused on this, if you're focused on what you don't want, you're going to get more of that. What you resist persists. This is just that's how our brains work. So it's like we have to make an effort into shifting and say, you know what? I'm not going to go to the woods right now. I don't have to worry about that bear. The right people got that covered. There's the right person with the tranquilizer gun. There's the right person that's going to do that. And I recognize that I'm not that person, and that's okay. So I can read about little Timmy's spelling bee and say, hey, good job, kiddo. You know, but it takes effort. It takes effort for us to shift into looking at the negatives to wanting to seek out the positives. And when we seek out those positives, we continuously find more and more of them. Okay? This is just cause and effect and the law of attraction. This is how this works. And if we're focused on what we love and want and desire, more of that is going to naturally come in our lives. And the more we're focused on that of which we don't love, want, and desire, we're going to constantly find more and more and more and more and more of it. So this Capricorn energy is saying you are the government. You have the opportunity to change things in your life. You have the opportunity to think differently. You have the opportunity to take actions to create the life of your dreams and not just dream about it. And then furthermore, like I see people living this false sense of reality with just life, and like they think that they have, just because they have a thought or opinion, they think they're so privileged that they deserve a seat in the Oval Office or a conversation with the president. It's like, you haven't earned it. And that might be a hard truth for you. For a lot of people, you haven't earned it. And if you have, then you'd be there. That's a hard truth for people. And it's like, okay, if that's where you want to be, then you have to put one foot in front of another and climb that mountain. You have to be willing to go there. And you say, oh my God, well, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And if you want that conversation, if you want that seat at that table to have that conversation to where your thoughts and ideas are put into practice, then you have to do the work. You can't sit around and thinking about it. We can't sit around and complain about it. We can't evade every time there's a problem. And it doesn't mean don't take a day of rest. Those are very necessary. And I'm sure you've had one this weekend. It was a very necessary day of rest. But we have to put our thoughts into actions. And we have to change our thoughts into understanding that we are the government, that we are the ones that can help, that massively ripples through society. And it's just like, when we realize that the power is in the people, and not just a handful of people, that's our new moon, friends. That's the new beginning, the change of everything. That it's you. You know, it's like that Scooby-Doo thing. You ever seen the Scooby-Doo meme where they pull off the mask and it's just like, oh, it was me the whole time. Yeah, it was our minds. It was our minds. It's how we're communicating. It's how we're thinking. It's about the actions that we're taking every day, and to start a routine. That's coming through kind of strong right now. It's saying start routines. Don't be afraid to start a routine. Don't be afraid to start a routine. It's just coming through. All right, another thing I want to talk about here. Left brain, right brain. Now, although this is your right brain, let's for just a quick second, your left brain is logic, linguistics. Over here, this is where fear, uncertainty, and doubt comes from, is the right brain, not your left brain. Okay. Do we have a lot of energy? We have Papa Saturn, stern Saturn, the North Node saying, let's go in this direction. Let's go into uncertainty. Let's go into doubt. Let's go into spirituality. Let's go into possibilities and unfathomable potential opportunities. And Saturn is like, no, we're still grounded in reality. And Neptune's saying, more of this. And it's like, it's a good thing that we have Saturn here. These last, it's like these anerotic degrees, 29 degrees. 0 degrees and 29 degrees we call the anerotic degree of astrology. They're the most potent and pungent. And it's like, if we didn't have this here, I think people would either be, if we didn't have Saturn here, I think people would be taking evasion in a scary manner. Too many people. I think you understand what I'm saying without having to say it. Okay? You can do it, friends. Just fix your mind. Put one foot in front of another. Don't believe so much in the media. Okay, and we have Uranus here with the South Node and Jupiter in Cancer. About emotions. This is about emotions and breakthrough of emotions and letting go. And when we let go of our judgments, this is huge. When we let go of our judgments, we can really change our emotional state. Breakthrough of the patriarchy. Taurus is considered patriarchy. Breakthroughs. South Node is letting go of these areas of our brain that says this is how it is and this is how it isn't. Jupiter's saying more emotions, be more compassionate. I mean, I'm not a Christian person, but if there's any person out there that believes in Christianity and Jesus, if you follow my channel, you probably know I think Jesus, I know Jesus is a personified allegory for the sun. Nonetheless, the work of Pisces is turn the other cheek, right? Is forgiveness and compassion. That's what Pisces is all about. So I feel like we're seeing less and less compassion and forgiveness more than anything right now. I'm seeing more hatred and anger and cut-offness. And this cut-offness, I feel like this is this big kind of smack in the face wake-up call. It's like you just can't cut everyone out of your life that creates a ripple. That's just not a feasible reality. To believe that, to think that way, and to be a little bit more compassionate, to be a little bit more holding space for other people that have different ideas and different views than you, right? It's like every color of the rainbow makes up the entire spectrum, and for us, that are green to tell red it needs to be more blue is just absurd. It's absurd to, I mean, you can say that, but that's where we get the blending, and it's like, okay, and now we got purple, and now we have, you get it. So that's where we're at, friends. It's taking actions right now, not being so reliant on the media to get your news information because they don't care about you. They just want you to be your ratings and come back for more and come back for more. And the more we're going to keep you updated on the crazies, the more you're staying tuned. And then we got you hooked in. And then what that is going to do, it's going to affect your mind. Right? Capricorn energy is saying, get your mind right here, guys. We've got to get our minds right. You got to remember that you're the authority, that you're the boss. You're the only authority over your life. It's you. You are the authoritarian over your life. Anyway, I think that's enough out of me, friends. I love you. I wish you enough. I wish you the most happiest new moon. Strength, courage to face whatever challenges are coming your way. Strength and courage to communicate with those individuals that might have conflict resolution that needs to be resolved. I hope you can resolve that. This is a really beautiful time and a beautiful year as we're entering this fire horse year to do that stuff. It's like, let's the world needs more together, more compassion. You know, this Jupiter, this big Jupiter septile stuff going down here is just like, this is big. And if we can find compassion for one another and find the bonding materials that connect us instead of the things that separate us, our beating hearts, our love for the world, our, people. There's so much that binds us together and less things that separate us. And if we focus more on that binding than the things that separate us, we're going to be in a good place. All right, friends, we'll see you next time.